Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to save countless hours using AI in architecture. And so the first example I got here I discussed in yesterday's video there about this image here on the right of me with these two little books there, holding those books that me and my studio partner last term won a little architecture award there. But you can see, okay, so like it's pretty hilarious, right? How this is the picture I used for my portfolio on the right, and then on the left, got this even more fucking gay picture of me with this like t-shirt, this that like droops to my fucking elbows and skin showing out of the my shorts. And, looks pretty unprofessional if you ask me. So I just take this original picture, I throw it into Google Gemini, and I say, "Oh, give me a nice black velvet tablecloth on the table," and then it does it. And then I ask it, "Oh, Gemini, give me a nice blue button-up shirt," and then it does it. And I was also able to get it to kind of fix my kind of like mouth. It's like looking a little droopier on the right, and you can see it's like very subtly. It makes it a bit better there. And so I think I'm very happy with how this final picture turned out, considering the first one was so shit. Now it's been a few months since this Google Gemini came out. And I'll show you how to access it here. Just go to Google. I'll make a new tab here. So you want to click these 9 dots here, and then you just click on Gemini right in the middle. And that's it. You got it. Now this Gemini thing, it's been really the best image generation model, AI model for architecture, in my opinion. For a few months, ever since it came out. It came out at the end of August, and it's now mid-January, and it's still the best one. And there's a few reasons why that is. One reason is that it has access to Google Earth, right? So if you ask it, okay, make me an image, an isometric image of a building, and you just take a picture of a building, it can use the Google Earth data, and it can make you a nice line drawing of any building you want. Sometimes you give it an address. Most of the times you don't even have to give it an address. And the other reason why there hasn't been another AI model to beat this one is because there was a very talented chip designer that used to work at Google, and he designed this series of chips, these chips for machine learning for these AI LLM models, and so Google, they're the only company that has access to these particular chips. However, about a month ago, NVIDIA acquired the rights to this guy's company, so technically now this guy works for NVIDIA. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if another model ends up beating it. But the advantage to this one here, this Gemini, is that it's like very like you can like make specific edits. So that's what really sets it apart. And it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. I'm going to go back to the presentation here. And so I was showing in my last video, I was going to talk about how to get this render here on the right. And all you do, you get a nice picture with your phone there. Take a nice picture. And then I just overlay a nice screenshot. This one is from Revit, but it doesn't matter. You just take any screenshot, collage it in, do a little perspective warp. Here I had to do a little bit of perspective warp in Photoshop to get the perspective right. And then I just ask it, okay, I give it to Gemini. I give it to tell it, okay, these are the materials. It's a very like a lot of steel, a lot of glass, and the result was pretty good. But the texture of it sort of looked like a little bit wet to me, the original thing. So I told it to make the atmosphere look really rainy and gloomy, and that's kind of why I did that, to kind of tie in the sort of textures to make it look more cohesive. And so I'm pretty happy with the results here. Like another thing you can do is you can actually color code the materials in Photoshop or whatever you want. You can color code the materials and say, okay, Gemini, make the blue stuff, make it concrete, make the yellow stuff, make it wood, make the red stuff brick. And that's another way to do it if you want. And so here's what I was saying about the taking a picture and then converting it into an isometric drawing. So I take this picture here to the left here, all the way to the left, and I throw it into Gemini. I say, okay, using the image provided, make me an isometric drawing of this building. And so it takes it, and it takes takes it from this kind of, makes it like on the corner of the street, which is incorrect, but it doesn't really matter because I can just, cut that stuff out. But you can even see like on the roof, it gets all the roof components right, despite the fact that you can't even see this in the image. You can't see these like mechanical systems on the on the actual image. And so you can see like kind of how it sort of knows the building, and all this stuff is correct. It's all right. And so yeah, I just take this, I cut out all the shit that's, wrong. The context is all wrong and stuff. So because it wants to put it on a street corner for some reason. But that's perfectly fine. I just cut it all out, and then I throw it into that final drawing there. And so you can use this to make, some site plans here. And like this image on the left, like there's some extra work that goes into it, into getting this image. You just basically got to look up like how to make how to get these bigger pictures of this Google Earth, this high quality. There's this way to get these high quality images. It's a little bit tedious, but it works out okay. And then you can just see like in the site plan, like it gets all the buildings, gets everything that's in the original picture, and like to draw this, it would take fucking weeks. But Gemini does it in 2 seconds. So then I color code some different things, put the street names. And then I was talking about this in my site analysis. Like, site analysis shit is the biggest fucking joke ever. Like, there's rarely very much that's actually unique to what you're trying to do. But these guys always want you to fucking do so much stupid work for that shit. Meanwhile, you can, like, if you're authentically doing a site analysis, it would take you like significantly less time to do it. But that's besides the point. Moving on, you can make these nice context site axos just by taking a simple screenshot in Google Earth. Say, okay, make me a isometric drawing of this site. And then in Photoshop, I perspective warp it a little bit to make it look a little bit more like an isometric drawing, but it's not really able to perfectly, eliminate the perspective, which is unfortunate, but it's still like the drawings like that it produces, they still look pretty impressive and pretty beautiful there. The stuff that it's able to make here, and again, this is from the site the site plan, you know, I'm highlighting these same buildings and adding in my massing there. And so this is the building here that we're doing a adaptive reuse project of. And this took quite a few iterations. At first, it only gave me the sort of front portion, but then in Photoshop, I was able to just take elements and like copy it around, and produce this this final axo here of our building here. And like as you can see, I got a little picture of the totem pole, sent it to Gemini, give me a nice isometric drawing of the totem pole. Throw that in there. I got it to make me an isometric drawing of this staircase and this door here that I needed, and then I collaged that in. So it's there's still like some like Photoshop, you know, little tricks and things to like make it all come together. So it's not completely AI, but it definitely helps you save a lot of time. Like you can just imagine like how long this would take to make, you know, just in your conventional, using your conventional tools. It would just take absolutely fucking forever. But with this drawing, I was able to do it in about a day. So these renders are pretty hilarious. These were the last things that I did for this project. So this would have been like, you know, a couple hours before the submission. Had to come up with a couple quick little renders here. And so basically all I did was I just quickly modeled, you know, the little space that I wanted to render, you know, just extruding the plan or whatever I did there. And then I print off on paper this little make 2D of this digital model here, and then I just like scribble over top. Say, okay, here's a fire, here's the little texture of the wood, here's the door. I'm drawing some of that shit. And then we ask it, okay, give me some nice indigenous people, make the grass, you know, the fire pits and the foliage in this thing here, and then the sage green siding and the metal doors. And yeah, like you could just like you could see like how like photorealistic it is, and it would be like very, very difficult to actually be able to get a render like this. Meanwhile, I was able to do it in maybe like an hour and a half it took me, or like 2 hours or something to that effect. And there's a little bit of luck involved too. Like you can get your prompt going, throw it in, and then sometimes it won't work. So you just gotta start a new chat, throw in the same reference image, copy the same prompt, and then it'll do it differently. It'll do it slightly differently. So there's a little bit of luck involved too. Got to keep that one in mind. And then so again, for this render on the right here, I say to Gemini, okay, give me a nice little gift shop thing going on here. Give me the slate floor. Give me these wood interior and columns. Get some indigenous children and elders ripping around and whatever. Get this glass elevator. And what I found was that what you got to do, the way you prompt it, is you got to prompt it from back to front. So let me say that again for you crackers. Back to front. And that's the proper way to do it. Unlike wiping your ass when you want to go front to back. If you're going back to front when you're wiping, you're fucking gay. Simple as that. But in this particular case of prompting Gemini, Gemini likes a little back to front action going on. And so you can just see like all these little fucking little nooks and trinkets and books and fucking who fucking knows what the fuck is there. Some little artifacts and pots and shoes and shit. You can just see like how long that would take to render if you're using, for example, like Enscape. You gotta put in like every single one of these little fucking things. It would take fucking weeks to fucking do that shit. Make them all positioned properly, fucking looking nice and random and fucking all this fuckery shit. Downloading fucking files on top of files. Viruses up your ass and who fucking knows what the fuck. And it gives you these cute little star watermarks, which are very easy to Photoshop out or crop out or do whatever you got to do to get rid of those things. So this was a render from my buddy here. He sent me his portfolio to take a look at it there. And it was pretty hilarious. On the day of the presentation, he pulls up, he says, hey, Matt Vin, take a look at these renders. And I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Beautiful. And he's like, hey, so I just said to Gemini, hey, give me a nice group of indigenous people dancing around a fire in their fucking jingle dresses, ripping around. And yeah, I thought that was absolutely fucking hilarious. But apparently that's actually what they're called. They're actually called jingle dresses. I thought he was just being a little racist, but apparently that's what they're actually called. And these were more renders from his project that I felt came out nice. You know, you can imagine throwing in all these fuckery people into these renders. Like, it would just take forever to get all those people in there, putting all these little fuckers in the render, in the model using Enscape. It would take absolutely forever. And then on the bottom here, nice little winter view. They usually like it when you have these this different seasonality going on, because in their head they think, oh, he has different seasons, therefore he's thinking about what the project looks like in the winter. Oh, perfect, that makes sense. And so, you know, he just threw it in and into Gemini, asked, okay, give me a nice winter, make the outside look wintry. Beautiful, came out perfect. So these were some more renders from my buddy's portfolio here, and you know, if you look at this render on the left, on the top left, you see all those fuckers in the architecture studio working away, and you can imagine like just like all this little things. It would just take so long to download all that shit and then throw it into Enscape, put it into Enscape, take it from Enscape, putting it into the model. It takes so unbelievably long to do it, but then in Gemini it just takes 2 seconds. Ask it to put in these pot lights, put it all. He's got this this physical model, this picture of a physical model, and you may think, oh, he 3D printed all these little fucker people and put it into his model. But no, you just take a picture of your model, throw it to Gemini, say, hey, put in these teal 3D printed people to populate the model, and then it fucking does it like that. It comes out perfect. They're scaled pretty much properly. Maybe they're slightly too tall, some of them. But it's like practically perfect. And it just takes 2 seconds. No 3D printer necessary. And it's got the right filament. He wanted this teal color for his project. And so you can make like all sorts of drawings. These are just little pictures from Google Earth. And so you can see how you can just ask it, okay, make me an isometric drawing of this castle here, this church. Give me a nice elevation drawing of this church. Give me a nice elevation here. And then you can collage it together in Photoshop, do what you got to do. Some people like going in Illustrator and just drawing like a nice black outline around the building to make it look more like like it's actually like drawn like conventionally, you know. But yeah, like you can imagine like how long it would take to draw this like church in this isometric drawing here. It would take fucking weeks. But in Gemini, it takes like fucking 2 seconds. And yeah, so again here, you know, this stuff really comes in handy for some of these projects. Like, you know, you got to do all the site analysis bullshit. You got to do all sorts of shit. And so in this picture on the top right, I just asked it, okay, make me an isometric drawing of the houses in the image, visible in the image, and then this is exactly what it gave me right here on the bottom. Came up perfect, and it even got the width of the houses there correct, even though you can kind of barely see it through the trees. And then yeah, same kind of deal here. We had to do a little adaptive reuse kind of thing going on here. So I just found this picture off the internet of this old city hall in Toronto. Asked Gemini to give me an isometric drawing of it, and that's what it gave me in the middle. And then on the far right, you can see exactly what's going on. So that's everything. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and peace.